All right. Good afternoon. I'm out in the yard and we're due for some rain, so I wanted to try to couple days worth of rain, and I know I won't get back out here. So I thought I would take the opportunity and try to do it now, and that's pruning my grapes. Um, they're on their fourth year now, and we've gotten grapes. Last year they were edible. First couple years they were real small, and they weren't. They were real tough and everything. But last year they were good. Um, there's a couple different schools of thought, and I don't want to really get into it too much, but there's um, spur training, which is running your trunk up to the wire, running the cordon, which is any branch that's a year older, running that out, and then having little spurs that come up 2 or 3 buds off each. And I think that's what I'm gonna do this year. Actually, I don't know. I'm looking at it, and I think I don't know. The other way is called cane training, and you have your trunk come up to the first wire, and then where the cordon would normally be the 1 year old wood or older, you have a fresh cane that just grew last year, and each year you cut off the previous year's growth and you fold the new cane over and you run it down the fence. And that's kind of what I did last year. I'm gonna take a little better look at my plants here. They look like they got tussled a little bit by some deer, maybe. Um, but I'm gonna go through them real fast, and I'll kind of make that decision on the fly. I think. Why don't we do that now? So let's look at my plants here. Here's my trunk, and it was way back here against the post. So I'm going to want to get it back there. Both of these were back here much farther. So the spur method kind of lends itself better to an older plant. I don't think I will be able to do it. I don't have enough spurs to make it worthwhile. I'm just kind of looking, and I don't have enough points coming up. So I think I'll do the cane method. Just deciding which cane to cut first. Okay, well, let's do this. We'll cut them all back because I need to. I don't need them this long. So we'll cut them all back out here. Get this stuff off from last year. It's amazing how much can grow in a year. There. Now we got it loosened up. I should be able to move it. Yeah. So this needs to be back here. trees to cut down. There we go. So what I want to do on this row, cut out some of this first. It's a sucker coming out the bottom. So I think it's probably alarming to people how much um, wood you cut off. You know, it could be almost as much as 90% on off a plant. So let's see here. Pull this one back. Now this year I'll get shoots off of these buds here, and they'll come up, and that's where my new fruit will be. These are, like I said, they're called cordons because this is a year old already. If it was less than a year old, it would be called a cane. Cut these off. So let's count the buds that I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's good. One around 10. Well, no more than 10. So I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this one. They're spaced pretty good. On this one, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's good. They're all about the same length. So this year, shoots will come up and come down off of these cordons, and then fruit will come down off of that. And then next year, what I'll do is I'll cut it back to one of these canes right here, one of these last two, and fold that over and let that be my new cane for the year. And I'll cut these off. So that's kind of how it goes with that, anyhow. The one I'm really looking at, concerned about, is this one down here. So I'm on a bit of a hill here, and I guess I was going to try to level it so it didn't look so steep, but because it's not that steep. So this has got a ton of new growth that came off it. Probably should have pruned it during the summertime, but now this has got a lot more. I might be able to spur prune this, but I'll decide once I get up to the canes what I'm going to do For now, I'm going to start down here and cut all this stuff off the bottom. This is all new growth from 1 year. Smells, someone's having a fire. It smells good. So the tree will throw off all these suckers off the bottom. I don't want them. I could probably train one or two of them into another row, but I just assume not deal with all that extra plant material. Yep, come on. Bunch down here. So I did the peach the other day. I think that came out real good. Oh, let's hit this bad boy up right here. Just gonna follow the trunk up and get all these little suckers, little buggers off. All right. So I got this one real nice one. That's what I'm gonna focus on. I'm cutting all this other stuff off except for that side. I got a really nice one. All right. So I'm cutting everything off that leads up to the wolf wire. And then I want to go down. I want to cut off anything that's pointing down or pointing outward because I will need those. I'm going to leave that one. Let's go and we'll cut all these spurs. We'll cut them down to about the length of a clipper. Probably about 4 or 5 buds left on there on each plant or each little cane. We're going to change these from canes into spurs. Got one that splits. I'm going to take the bigger half, make that into a cane or a spur, pardon me. Almost to the end. I'm going to cut it off right here. It starts to get really big after that, and I don't need all that. So now each one of these I left is a spur, and I want to cut it down to, oh boy, depending on the school thought, between 4 or 5 to down to two buds. I think I'm going to go with 4. And then I'm going to take it so I got a spacing of about my hand or about the length of a clippers between each spur. So I'll try to do that and take the best ones at the same time. So we'll get rid of this one. This one is crossing over, so I'm going to get rid of this one right here. So I got one there. I don't know if that one will grow. It's kind of small, but we'll give it a shot. The next one down. This one will cut off. Cut that off. And cut that off. There. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 spurs plus the end. So that'll be good. We'll take a look at this other end down here, which grew pretty long as well. So we'll do the same thing. I got this long branch, but I got a bunch of suckers down here at the bottom. We'll start with those. There's also a little tree in here. Get rid of that. So just go up the trunk and we'll take off what we don't want, don't need. Cut it right to there where they start to go down the wire. Sorry about that. And then we'll start. So I'm right here. I think I'll start with this top one. I'll cut these off. Yeah. Skip these two. You can't, if you can't go, the full 6 inches without it. Like for instance, there's more than 6 inches between these two. That's okay. There's less than 6 inches between these two. That's not as okay. So you got to kind of err on which side you want it. Which side you want to go. So I'm going to leave that one. I'll cut it down to 4. We'll cut this off. So, all right. So I got that one. I'll cut this off. So now I got almost a full foot between those, but that's okay. There's that. Oh. So this got a V. Just cut the one side off and cut the other one down size. There. Oh. So that's 2 down. And we'll do that third one down there. Okay. We got the birds circling up there. All right, let's get these ones. So this one is actually in really good shape. I think what I'll do is I'll spur this one too. All this gets cut off. There. The other side. The other side looks good. Not even gonna touch it. But all right, that wasn't bad at all. You guys watched the whole thing, so it would take me maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Um, but it'll make a difference come, the end of summer when we want the grapes. So, and now there's another pruning that can be done late summer once the fruit sets in. And I'm kind of curious to try that. It involves actually pruning off fruit, so you got fewer fruit but better quality. And I may try that depending on how much fruit sets on and how much it all depends. These are going into their 5th year, and they look pretty good. They struggled the first couple of years, but now that they've got set in, they've done pretty well. So, man, is it beautiful out today? All right, folks. Well, thanks for joining me again, and we'll talk to you next time. So I've been burning this stump for a little while. I haven't burned it in a couple months, but just about gone. Just gonna keep piling on it. Some branches.
fire is always nice. Oh. Should be raining a little bit, so we'll see. I don't really expect this fire to materialize into much. I just thought I was just trying to burn up some of the scraps that are left laying here so I don't mow over them. Animals are loving this weather. They're all out. Lots of birds. Well, like I said, folks, thanks for watching.